Protective Diet Test Kitchen, and today I'm making a winter fruit salad. In the wintertime, we generally don't think about fruit salad, but it's one of my favorite fruit salads to enjoy. And I'm gonna make it with only 4 fruit ingredients. They're easy to find ingredients, the first one being the least common, and maybe some of you haven't opened your own pomegranate and you've bought the seeds pre-cleaned. I'm gonna show you how to do that really simply today. This fruit salad is going to help motivate your kids and your entire family to eat the citrus fruit that you bring home that sometimes ends up in the back of the refrigerator all shriveled up because no one wants to peel it themselves. So I'm going to show you how to supreme citrus fruit today as well. So you're taking the top of the pomegranate and you're putting a knife into it. And we're just opening it up a little bit in a nice bowl of water. You could do this inside your sink as well. And the water is going to help you keep you from staining your countertops. So you're taking a section out and you're just basically massaging with your fingers the underside into the water. That way any spurts of juice are being caught by the water and not staining your kitchen or your clothing. Get your kids to help you do this. And then the pith of the pomegranate just floats to the top of the water and you can remove it. And you see you have all these beautiful pomegranate seeds. We eat the entire seed and the juice together as one. They're a nice high fiber snack. You can just break this into pieces just like that and then wiggle the pomegranate seeds loose. When I was a child, my mom used to put a towel over my whole entire body and put me on the couch, and she'd give me a nice segment like this, hand it to me, and I would eat them myself. But she had to protect my clothing. I think if she knew about this technique back then, she probably would have done it for us, because she supremed all of our grapefruits and oranges as children when we were too young to eat the membrane of the citrus fruit. It was too tough for us to chew, but she wanted us to enjoy the fruit and get the nutrients out of the fruit and still be able to enjoy them before we had teeth. So I'll show you how to supreme the citrus fruit today. And what that means is, in culinary terms, supreme means the best part of the item. So in fruit, it's when we remove the pith and the membrane of the fruit from the segmented part of the fruit, the supreme part of the fruit. So I'll show you what that's about in a minute. So you can see how easy this is and quickly it goes. And then we just take this off. I'll do the rest of this part later, just for time's sake. And I take this off. As much of the membrane as possible remove. And then you can just drain off the water. You could run this through a strainer if you're not as comfortable blocking the seeds from falling down the drain. And if you get a lot of pomegranates when they're in season in the fall and winter, you can actually clean these seeds just like this, lay them out on a towel to dry and freeze them, and they defrost beautifully. I love these, so I'm gonna end up eating them all within this week. So I like to store them in a jar like this. Use my funnel to make it easy. And now I'll show you how to supreme a grapefruit. Before I start on the grapefruit, I'm going to cut up an apple. Now, a lot of times people don't put apples in fruit salads because they get brown. But with the grapefruit juice and the orange juice, that acid from that fruit is going to keep my apple from turning brown naturally. So I'm just going to slice my apple into nice slices. You could dice it however you like them. I like them in wedges like this, very thin wedges. There's so many different apples on the market. This one's a Fuji apple. It's crisp, stays crisp. And now I'm going to supreme my grapefruit, keeping my apple on my cutting board so that it gets coated with the grapefruit juice. Cutting one end off of the grapefruit and then the other. And then what I'm doing is cutting down the sides, removing that white pith and the peel. Now if you're not comfortable with a big knife like this, you could downsize it to a knife this size for a grapefruit, or if you're doing an orange, you could use a knife this size if that's more comfortable for you to work with and it makes you more confident. Start with the smaller knife. I personally prefer the heavier knife. I'm comfortable with that, so that's what I work with. A sharp knife would be the most important thing in doing supreming grapefruit or oranges. And you're removing all of the white membrane. That's the bitter part of the fruit, and that's the part of the fruit that a lot of people turn their nose up to grapefruit about. And you might be thinking, well, that's the fiber part of the fruit, and that's very important in eating the whole fruit. And what I'm suggesting is doing this supreming because you'll get your family to eat the grapefruit versus turn their nose up to it with that white bitter portion. So how we do this is we cut between these membranes and we create these segments just like that. And if there's any seeds in there, you remove those. And this is just the inner part of the grapefruit, the supreme part of the fruit, the best part. And you could also do this if you're not comfortable with a knife or you don't have a sharp knife, which you can find knives like these for usually about $5 to $8 now in your big box stores or on Amazon. Those work great, they're nice and sharp. And but if you're still not comfortable with your knife skills yet, I recommend watching the PD Ed lesson number 58 where we review knife skills, and we also review sharpening your knives at home sharpening, to make this possible because you need a sharp knife to do a good job. But the other way to do it is you could peel the grapefruit and then just separate the segments from the membrane. That's how my mom used to do it. And I think she did it that way because back then there was not the sharp knives readily available for the home chef, for your home kitchen like there is today. So you can see I'm just folding back the membrane like that and cutting on the other side of the next membrane, and I get this perfect, it's like a grapefruit steak. It's like the meat of the steak, the supreme portion. And the same thing can be done with an orange. And now you can see I have all of this juice on my cutting board, this delicious grapefruit juice. And it's sweet, it's not bitter. Go for the ruby red grapefruits. Those are going to be a lot sweeter than the white grapefruits, but it's very sweet when that bitter part of the membrane is removed of the grapefruit. And I'm rubbing my apple into that juice. You could also toss your apples and the whole entire fruit salad together in a bowl. The way I like to serve it up is put them in jars. So basically put your apples in there and then your segmented grapefruit and your segmented oranges. And how delicious would this be to bring as a surprise treat for one of your coworkers at work, or for your kids to pop out of the refrigerator all ready to go. Snack after school snack. Oh, let's not forget the pomegranates. We'll top it off with those. And then I want to show you a way to make this very simple fruit salad fancy enough to serve at your next dinner party. I had a dinner party last week and I served these at the end of dinner because on a protective diet we generally don't eat dessert. We're full from our meal and we're paying attention to our mindful eating. We stop when we're full and satisfied, but we still want to have that experience of dining and having that finish to our meal. So I served these up in these fancy little glasses. They're just little rocks glasses. Actually, these were passed down in my family. They were my grandfather's glasses. And I just put a few segments of grapefruit and orange, a couple pieces of the apple, and then I topped it off with some raspberries and the pomegranates. The raspberries are optional. It would be fine just with those 4 items, but it dresses it up a little bit. If you're having a party, you could put a piece of mint in there as well. And then cover it with plastic wrap, chill these, and then when dinner's over, you can serve these for dessert. I hope you enjoy this winter fruit salad and start supreming your, oh, Jerry's going in for the fruit salad, and start supreming fruit in your home kitchen. Enroll in Protective Diet Education and check out lesson number 58, improving your knife skills, and learn how to home sharpen your knife or pick up a knife for under $10 and start supreming your fruit. You'll have your kids eating citrus fruit the whole winter long. Take care and best of health.